bucket of blood," I say, reading the battered wooden sign nailed over the casement. Liam opens the door. "Let's hope they serve a decent IPA," he laughs as I duck under his arm and walk inside. The pub is cosier than its name would have us believe. A fire crackles in the grate, and the burnished brass fittings glow as though they've absorbed centuries of polish. It's empty, aside from a middle-aged landlord with a complexion as weathered as the pub sign outside, and a man in his mid to late 20s who's wearing a camouflage jacket and sitting at the far end of the bar, hunched over and nursing a pint. "Afternoon," the landlord says, smiling at us as we lower our hoods and approach. "What can I get you?" Liam, always affable and friendly in situations like these, immediately falls into conversation with him about the local ales on tap. I take off my jacket and start to unwind my scarf, but stop suddenly, feeling eyes on me, and turn my head. The man at the end of the bar is staring right at me. I smile, trying to be polite, but his gaze remains unflinchingly cold and piercing, so I look away. I wonder what his problem is. Perhaps he doesn't like non-locals in his pub. I wrap my scarf back around my neck, feeling a sudden chill despite the fire roaring in the grate. It feels more like winter, not at all like the dying days of summer. "Lime and soda?" Liam asks, turning to me. I nod. "Yes, thanks." "I thought we could wait until we get to the island before we eat," Liam says. I nod again. I'm not hungry anyway. The doctor said it can be normal with depression to lose your appetite, and that I should wait for the antidepressants to kick in. I started taking them a month ago, though, and haven't yet felt any change, at least to my eating. I'm definitely starting to see some improvement in my mood. A crack of light is appearing in the dark. Who knows? By the end of the week, maybe the horrible weight pressing down on me will have been levered off like a giant boulder, and I'll start to feel free of it. It's not that I don't want to be happy, that I don't crave it. But in my memory, happiness is like the chocolate cake my mum used to make for me every birthday since I was a little girl, covered in lashings of chocolate buttercream and decorated with chocolate buttons. I can picture it in my mind's eye, can even recall the feeling of the fork tines against my tongue and the gooey warmth as the first bite hits the roof of my mouth. But for the life of me, I can't remember what it tastes like. As Liam brings our drinks over to a table in the corner, I glance at him, grateful that he suggested we rebook the honeymoon that we'd had to so abruptly cancel. He thought I'd want to go somewhere hot and suggested the hotel on Santorini. But I didn't feel up to going far from home. Couldn't imagine myself lying by a pool under a blazing hot sun. And I've always wanted to visit Scotland. My mum and I used to talk about it, both of us having fallen in love with the Outlander books, but we never got around to making the trip. Liam's roots are Scottish, and he's really into history, so he seemed happy enough with the idea when I suggested it. "Cheers," he says, chinking his glass against mine. "Cheers," I answer. "To us," he says, leaning across the table and kissing me. "I love you," he adds in a whisper, his lips warm against mine. "I love you too," I reply, kissing him back. "Happy honeymoon." He brushes a strand of hair behind my ear, his fingers grazing my cheek and sending a shiver down my spine. He grins and I get a flash of memory of the first time I saw him. The very first thing I noticed about him then was the brilliant blue of his eyes and a smile that suggested a certain